Hi, welcome to Village Yoga's restorative class. I'm Ashley, if you've not taken my class before. So before we begin, I have a bolster. I have two pillows. One is king size, and I have a blanket. So get your props if you need to pause the video, and then just come into a comfortable seat. We're going to begin with some centering. Just bringing yourself to a comfortable seat. Just allow yourself to feel supported by the floor. Just check in and see what's going on with the body and the mind. Just notice anything without judgment. Then bring your left hand to your belly, your right hand to your heart. Let's just take a few minutes of belly breathing to connect to your body, to your breath. So as you inhale, just blow the belly out so you can feel it. And as you exhale, pull the navel to the spine. Just take a few rounds of that belly breath. Maybe noticing the movement of your hands over your belly. Just visualize your breathing like a wave. Inhale. The wave rolls to the shore. As you exhale, the wave pulls back. And just letting your hands fall down onto your knees. Just breathing in, just imagining with each inhale we receive peace and calm, groundedness. And with each exhale, we release stress, anxiety, worry. Just allow yourself to truly be here in this moment, bringing your mind into the body. And bringing your hands out to your sides. Bring that left forearm down, and as you inhale, reaching the arm up and overhead. Nice side body stretch, and then flow to the other side. Inhaling. Let's do a couple more rounds. That feels really good. We often don't stretch our sides. Every time I do, I notice how sore it is. Last one. Hopefully you feel a little more arrived and here for this practice. So for our first pose, you'll either take a bolster if you have one, or your longest pillow, because it's going to be under your back. And then I'm going to have two other pillows, and you can have couch pillows, you can have your bed pillows. I have my bed pillows. And so how this is going to work, you're going to bring the bolster to your tailbone because we're going to lay back on it. We're moving into supported Supta Baddha Konasana. So, which is a reclined butterfly pose. Your feet are together so that your knees are out. Then you're going to put a pillow under each knee, and you may need to adjust that as you lay down. And getting your bolster, bringing yourself onto your bolster, letting your, down a little so you can still see me, letting your feet are together, soles of your feet are together. I've got a pillow, which I'm adjusting a little under each knee, coming back onto the bolster, bringing the hands to the belly. Maybe begin with a few belly breaths. Closing your eyes. Just focusing on your breath here. This is a practice for peacefulness. It's really trying to keep your body and your mind connected through the breath. Restorative resets your whole central nervous system. So restorative is different from yin because we're using props to really support the body. We want to be totally comfortable. You can always make adjustments if something doesn't feel right. You want your mind out of it. You want to be able to truly be comfortable in these shapes. So at times life can feel overwhelming. And this is when we can turn to our practice to receive immediate loving care. It's restorative. The practice alone is providing loving care to the body and the mind. When the practice is done, a problem is solved because a still mind is what ultimately solves a problem. This sequence is designed to still and quiet the mind and instill a calm and a steadiness. This practice combats stress, physical fatigue, mental exhaustion, or just a plain bad mood. So if you want to be at peace, you have to practice being peaceful. If you want to experience peace around you, you have to practice being peaceful. If you want others to be peaceful, you have to practice being peaceful around them. If your mind feels busy, if you're having a hard time settling in, just inhale for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. And then exhale. See if you can get your exhale to 8 or 10. This will automatically kick in your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your calming. It'll help direct a busy mind to the counting. We'll be here just a few more minutes. Just do a quick body scan for these last few minutes. Just bringing your awareness to your eyes, letting them relax, get heavy, softening your face, relaxing your jaw. Just letting the arms be heavy. Very slowly removing any props under the knee And then to get out of the pose, we're just going to roll to the side and sit up for just a minute. We're going back onto our back, but we're going to reposition. I'm going to use the bolster. You want your firmest pillow. If you don't have a firm pillow, if you have a blanket that you can roll up into like a tube. So you see how it's kind of a similar shape to the bolster. So we're moving into fish pose. So this one, your legs are going to be straight. So they're opened as wide as the mat. Then instead of at the tailbone, I'm pushing this up so that my back is opening up. I may even add that blanket. Turn this so you can really see. So you want it under, think about your, it's a chest opener. So you want the pillow, the bolster, the blanket, whatever you're using, like where your bra strap goes. So it's, see how that makes that movement if you push it. So this is a chest opener. So I'm laying back. So it's really my upper back. My feet are straight. My arms, I'm just going to bring them out maybe to cut these arms. Actually, I'm bringing my arms down for this one. So I have my arms down, but you see how my chest is up. So you need to stop the video to make sure you really want to feel supported, but you want to feel this expansion in the chest. And then just settle in. We'll be here a little while. Just focus on your breathing. Maybe layering in our counting for a few rounds, and then just let it go once you feel like that has stilled your mind. So inhaling for a count of 4, holding for 4, and then seeing if you can exhale for 8 or 10. You need words. You can repeat the mantra we did in our centering. Inhaling peace, calm, groundedness, releasing stress, worry, thought, negativity. Slowly bringing your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Slowly begin to shift into our next position. So just bringing the knees up, turning to the side, coming up into a seat. And so I'm going to talk you through this next pose and see how to get you into this. So we're going to do a twist, but we're going to do it different than we've done before. We're going to elevate our hips. So I'm going to use a bolster, and it's going to be perpendicular, so going across the mat. I'm going to use my folded up blanket for between my knees. So you could do a pillow and a pillow between the knees. I don't know what props you have, so it doesn't matter. What you want is we're going to be putting our hips on the bolster. So I'm going to show you how to get into this. Let's see if this translates through the computer. So you're lying on your back. Then I'm going to lift my hips. So I've got my low back and the pelvis area. I'm going to see how this works with a blanket. So we're keeping the back straight, but then you're going to twist with your support between your knees. So it's like an elevated twist. Your hips, as you'll notice, my hips are up on the bolster. I'm keeping my arms out and open, so it's almost like your chest is straight, but the hips are lifted. Your knees are supported with a blanket or a pillow. I may even put a pillow, might be a little more comfy. And just breathe into the back here. Slowly bringing your awareness back to my voice. We're going to take our twist to the other side. So bringing your knees back to center. And I actually think I'm switching out for a pillow for my blanket. So your hips should still be elevated. Your hips and your pelvic area and your low back are still elevated on a pillow. And then just putting the support between your knees, whether that's a blanket or a pillow. And then shifting your legs to the other side. Front of your body is straight, your chest, your heart is open. So this is a heart opener and a twist. So twists are actually relaxing to the nervous system. All the energy centers run along the spine. Very slowly bringing your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Maybe removing your knee prop. Maybe just rolling the hips side to side. Maybe bringing the knees in. A quick happy baby. Straightening one leg at a time. Just making whatever movements your body needs to make before. And don't do what I just did. Don't just come up, roll to the side and then come up. It'll be easier on your back. And then for our next shape, we're moving into my favorite pose, which I share with you guys, child's pose. I love this pose. I could stay in it literally all day. But don't do that. It could be bad on the knees. So bringing a blanket. Let's start there. So you're going to bring a blanket where your knees are. And then before we get into it, let's just take a few cat-cows. So bringing your wrists under, I was going to say your wrists under your hips, wrists under your shoulders, knees under hips, dropping the belly, gazing up. That feels really good. Exhaling round. Bringing your chin to chest, tilting your pelvic bone, arching like a Halloween cat. Inhaling, drop the belly round. Exhaling, tilting the pelvic bone, arching the back, pressing the palms into the mat, chin to chest. The most important thing is to connect the movement with the breath. Inhale, drop, look up. Exhale, round. Maybe one more. That feels really good. Okay, now we're going back to child's pose. So bringing your knees as wide as the mat, and your big toes are touching, and then you sink your hips back onto your heels. And then from here, I'm gonna probably use a bolster and 2 pillows. I've got, so maybe that's 3 pillows. Maybe you have a couple pillows, you have a block under there to kind of raise it up. You can do that as well. So basically, I'm building this tower so that I can just fold onto it and come down. Yay. All right, so find your shape. If you need to pause the video, I'll cue you when we're halfway through so you can switch, unless you have your head down, which I'm assuming most of you have it to one side, then we'll switch it to the other side just to balance the neck. Just really settle in here.
Slowly, you can shift your head, flipping it to the other side for the rest of the pose. Slowly bringing your awareness back, using your hands to press yourself up and remove any props right now. We're going to be moving to a wall. I'm shifting my camera a little bit. So I'm bringing my mat over to the wall. And then you can lay the blanket down just to make it softer for the hips. In restorative, we like to try to cushion everything so it's comfy. And then bringing your body up against the wall. So I'm just on my left side here. And then just shifting back so that your legs come up and you scooch the booty right up against it. You have your platform here for your wall. You can just let your arms tee open. Legs up the wall, so good for you. Good for your heart, good for your blood pressure, good for inflammation, good for the mind. It's really grounding. If you're ever feeling just like rattled and stressed, just come do legs up the wall for 10 minutes. Put a meditation on it. Just listen and breathe. Bringing your awareness back to my voice, maybe circling the ankles in both directions. I'll give you an option. If you're really enjoying legs up the wall, I encourage you to stay in it for our Shavasana. If you want to move into our typical Shavasana, then you'll follow me. If you want to stay in legs up the wall, just ignore my directions and stay there. So bringing the feet down the wall. This is how you get out of it. They're rolling to the side and coming up. And so for Shavasana, I would put maybe a bolster under the knees where they fold. I'm covering up with a blanket. I'm going to add a little pillow here. If you have an eye pillow, now would be the time for that. Just let your feet open wide. I feel like I'm getting into bed. I kind of am. And just take a few cleansing breaths here. Breathing in through the nose and then just sighing it out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in through the nose, filling up, and then just letting it all go. Just make any last movements. Your feet are open wide, your hands are resting either on your belly or open up to receive. Just let go of any counting or mantras here that maybe you continued. Just allow your body to integrate. Shavasana is so important. When I first started doing yoga, I didn't understand the importance of it. And while you may be tempted to turn off the video and go ahead and get up, do this for yourself. It allows the body to integrate everything you just did. It's like a processing time for the body and the mind. Very slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the sound of my voice. Begin making small movements, maybe wiggling the fingers and toes, circling the wrists, maybe a full body stretch. Inhaling, reaching the arms up over the head, arching the back, pointing the toes, doing a full cat-like stretch. Maybe do that one more time. And just make your way onto your right side for just a moment and lay there. I wanted to share with you something I read since we just did a practice for peace. I saw this and I saved it. Inner peace is not feeling perfect all of the time or not caring about what is happening. Inner peace is feeling and being with your emotions without reacting to them. It is the calmness that emerges when you embrace change. I thought that was a good description. Coming and making your way up to a seated position. We'll take one last breath together. Bringing your hands out to your sides, and just as you inhale, reach and stretch up. And as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And just check in. Notice how you feel right now. Hopefully peaceful. Thank you for practicing with me for this sequence for peacefulness. Love you guys. Hope to see you in the studio soon. Namaste.